Hello guys, it's me Simo Urahara, and in this video we will talk about Urahara Kisuke and what are the real motives that made him make the Hogyoku. First of all, there is a fundamental question about the Hogyoku that we don't have an answer of it until now. What does the Hogyoku consist of? What are its components? All we know is that Aizen Sasuke was feeding the Hogyoku hundreds of souls from the residents of the Rekongai as well as the Shinigamis, and add to this the King's Nail that was found in the soul of Rangiku. But what was before that? Are the raw materials for Hogyoku only the power of souls? Although all of this didn't make Aizen's Hogyoku complete, and he had to merge it with the Hogyoku of Urahara Kisuke. So here we come to the question that everyone is thinking about. If the process of creating Hogyoku involved using the power of souls, so where did Urahara get these powers from? Did he follow the same path as Aizen Sasuke? This is possible. Urahara Kisuke has previously spoken of himself and said that he's not that virtuous man, and perhaps his dark side, maybe he's being a scientist. He will need to do some experiments in order to achieve his own goals. And Urahara Kisuke, from what appeared, his apparent goal was to strengthen the souls of the Shinigamis. This was his main idea, to strengthen the Kompaku of the Shinigamis, and in the framework of this research, he invented the Hogyoku, knowing that Aizen Sasuke had preceded him in this, and invented himself the other Hogyoku. But a strange link between Aizen Sasuke and Urahara Kisuke is that they both wanted to use the Hogyoku for the same purpose, which is to remove the Soul King from his place. If we go back to Aizen Sasuke, his main purpose in inventing the Hogyoku was to break down the barriers between the Shinigami and the Hollows, so that Aizen Sasuke wanted to get rid of the Shinigami barrier and move towards new dimensions of strength that would allow him to overthrow the Riot Palace and remove Ryu, which Aizen called that thing. So he spent centuries trying to strengthen the Hogyoku and understand its power, which lie in fulfilling the heart's desires of those around it. Of course, Aizen before that, he knew the truth of Ryu and what happened to him. In the novel, in a special chapter, which was a flashback of Aizen, Sasuke and Chosen, he told Chosen that the world is based on a sin, and that is why he must remove Ryu, meaning that Aizen knew the story of the ancestors of noble families and how they sealed Ryu and cut off his body parts, etc. What I said about Aizen now, we can say it about Urahara Kisuke, but in different way. It seems that Urahara Kisuke at one point in his life knew the full truth about Ryu. Very few know this truth because it's carefully hidden by the nobles. But Urahara also knew that the ancestor of the nobles had committed that crime, and that the foundation of the world was built on the basis of a sacrifice. Therefore, among the conviction that Urahara believed in, what the noble did was wrong. To take someone and put them in a seal and make them the cornerstone of the worlds, it's something not good. So now we know what they have done, so what shall we do? Do we remove Ryu from there? It's not possible, because as Urahara said to Aizen, what happened has happened. Ryu is the foundation of the worlds now. If we remove him, then all the worlds will collapse. After all, it's not possible to sacrifice billions of lives for the sake of one person. And so here is where the crossroads between Aizen and Kisuke was. Aizen wanted to remove Ryu and become the Soul King in his own way. And we don't know basically what will result from this. I mean, if Aizen has killed Ryu, will the worlds be partially destroyed and rebuilt again? No one will know what would have happened, and neither Urahara nor the Shinigami would be able to gamble with the world system for the sake of Aizen Sasuke's goal. So Urahara Kisuke thought of another way. What if it was possible to strengthen the souls of the Shinigamis, or some souls in general, so that they become the pillars of the worlds? And therefore it wouldn't be necessary to make one person bear all that burden. So this idea is among the ideas that made Urahara Kisuke search hard on how to raise the power of the Shinigamis, because it's logical. Why would Urahara Kisuke think in the first place in such a way? And Seiichi already has several strong Shinigamis, including Yamamoto, and at that time Aizen Sasuke hadn't revealed his true identity. Of course, I said this was one of the ideas that made Urahara discover the Hogyoku. because he himself said that the desire to help Ryu was only a secondary desire, and the thing he really wanted to do is to open a new door. What was his intention by those words? It remains mysterious, because there are other behaviors that indicate some ambiguity regarding Urahara's thinking. But from what we have seen, when Urahara invented the Hogyoku, his intention was to strengthen the souls of the Shinigamis, and he believed at that time that the power of the Hogyoku was to break the barriers between the souls. But in fact, its main power lies in the fulfillment of desires of those around it. So Urahara was able to help Hirako and the other Vizard. And then Urahara went to the real world. His stay in the real world was not in order to have a human life, but was a continuation of Urahara's ideas regarding the Hogyoku, because at that time two important events occurred while Urahara was living in the real world. Urahara was the one responsible for Masaki's survival from the hollow poisoning, and through that process of helping Masaki, he used a special Gigai and he put Ishin in it. And as you know, among the things in which Kisuke is very skilled is his creation of Gigai. It is enough to know that Aizen Sasuke has claimed that the reason for Urahara's expulsion from the Soul Society was his creation of Gigai without Rishi, so that if any Shinigami enters in it, he will become almost human. And this is what he wanted to do with Rukia, so that he can hide the Hogyoku inside her soul. And also the second event that is no less important, which is the creation of Jincha and Ururu. Kubo has previously stated that Jincha and Ururu are artificial souls created by Urahara Kisuke. But here a certain question arises. Why did Urahara Kisuke create them? Did he feel lonely and he decided to create artificial souls? Or did he, as Tokinada said, Urahara Kisuke created Jincha and Ururu as a part of his will to strengthen the souls to replace Ryu? Yes, this is how Tokinada assumed the existence of Jincha and Ururu, because Tokinada sent Ora to take Urahara in order to make a new Hogyoku for them, so that they would put it in Hikuni and become in Ryu's place. However, Urahara Kisuke told Tokinada that the previous Soul King or Hikuni or even the remnants of Yhwach are not the solution. Interesting. I mean, imagine that Urahara Kisuke is currently not satisfied with the situation in the Riot Palace. Thus, we can understand why he originally made the Hogyoku, because he really wanted at some point to strengthen the souls of the Shinigami to replace the King of Souls, so that I think there will not be one center for the worlds, but the power will divide it among several people. And this led me to say that Urahara Kisuke would not allow Kyoraku, nor even the monk, to make Ichigo a sacrifice to the worlds. There is no doubt that he would have done something for him if Ichigo had become the Soul King, because Urahara Kisuke originally did not believe in the idea of one sacrifice. So if we take what I have said about the possibility of Ichigo being the next Soul King in my last video, this could bring a new conflict between Urahara in his side against Ichibi in his side. However, there is something that's still without answer, guys. Why did Urahara choose Rukia to hide the Hogyoku? Why her exactly? He could put it in Jincha or Ururu. Why her exactly? Did he saw something into her and wanted to try it? I hope someday we can get the answer of this question. So guys, tell me what you think, give me your opinion in the comments, and see you guys in my next video.